As a kid, all a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from everybody. Life lesson learned, I better learn from this bitch, nobody. She pushed me around, she didn't give no motherfucks about it. She broke my heart 3 times, but I ain't getting...
Thursday Night Football, we have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Carolina Panthers in a NFC South divisional clash. For the Carolina Panthers, they lost to the New Orleans Saints last week, 27-24. And the Panthers played a pretty good game. They got down early, they were able to fight back, but they lost because in the fourth quarter, they simply weren't able to get anything going. Now, for the Atlanta Falcons, they lost to the Detroit Lions 23-22. And a lot of people are putting that blame on Todd Gurley, which is understandable because if Todd Gurley never scored that touchdown, all Atlanta really had to do was chew the rest of the remaining time left on the clock. Detroit would have never got the ball back. Atlanta could have just went ahead and won the game. But allow me to defend Todd Gurley for a second. Okay, I know a lot of Falcons fans are upset with how the season has went so far. I know a lot of Falcons fans are upset because that's a game that you should have won. And if Todd Gurley never scores that touchdown, he just falls. The clock keeps ticking. Atlanta can just go ahead and win the game. But when you're Todd Gurley, you have to understand something. It is really hard to go against your instincts in that situation. Think about it. For all the years that Todd Gurley has been playing football, his mind has always been trained to go ahead and score the touchdown no matter what. So when you're in a situation like that, which requires you to go against your instincts, something that you've been basically taught all your years playing football, and instead of scoring a touchdown, you just have to fall and, let the time remain or let the time keep ticking. So, for Todd Gurley, man, his mind was saying one thing, his body was doing the other thing. And you can tell because he was kind of hesitant to score the touchdown. He didn't really know what to do in the situation. So, I know a lot of Falcons fans are upset with how Todd Gurley went about that situation. Instead of, not scoring a touchdown, he decided to go ahead and score it. And that ended up giving the Detroit Lions one last drive left. And listen. You can blame Todd Gurley all you want to, but the defense is what lost the game. How do you allow Detroit in a few plays to march down the field and win the game? So, the Falcons defense deserves a lot of blame for that loss. But, I can understand if a lot of people want to blame Todd Gurley. I'm not faulting anybody. If you want to give Todd Gurley the blame, albeit. And I'm not going to blame anybody because at the end of the day, Todd Gurley has to have more situational awareness in that situation. So, the Panthers, they couldn't get off the field on third down. Their third down defense was absolutely terrible. The Saints were 12 or 14 on third down. So the Saints, with their ability to do whatever they wanted to do, with the Carolina Panthers struggling to get off the field on defense, the Saints controlled the majority of that game. The Saints had the ball for 34 minutes in that game. Carolina only had the ball for 25. So the Carolina Panthers lost the time possession battle, which was a large reason why they lost that game. And this just isn't the first coincidence of the Carolina Panthers defense struggling to get off the field on third down. This is something that the Panthers have struggled with all year. They have one of the worst third down defenses in all the NFL. They're basically last in the NFL. They're 31st and third down conversion percentage. Their opponents convert on third down 56% of the time. So, you can't really expect to win a lot of games if you can't get off the field on third down. And we saw that last week against the Saints. They couldn't get off the field on third down. The Saints were able to convert, keep the drive alive, and that's why the time possession battle was so one-sided in the Saints' favor. So, for the Falcons, Raheem Morris is going into his third game as the interim head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. And I like what I've seen out of Raheem Morris so far. But one thing that Atlanta still has to be able to do that they haven't really done all that well since Raheem Morris has took over is being able to finish games. That was a big reason why they fired Dan Quinn, because this Falcons team didn't know how to finish. And under Raheem Morris last week against that loss to the Detroit Lions, that's just another example of this Falcons team not being able to finish off opponents, not being able to finish games. So, you can blame Todd Gurley, you can blame the defense all you want to, but at the end of the day, Atlanta still can't finish games. Atlanta is 12th in the NFL when it comes to being able to convert on third down. They convert on third down a pretty good amount of the time. And that is going to be a big concern if you are a Carolina Panthers fan, because you're looking at a defense that can't get off the field on third down. And the question has to remain in your head is, why is Carolina so bad on third down? Well, go back and look at the stats. Carolina is pretty much dead last in the NFL when it comes to being able to get pressure on the quarterback. And if you can't get pressure on the quarterback, you're not going to be able to get off the field on third down the majority of the time, because the majority of the time on third down, if you're in like a third and long situation, teams are most likely going to throw the ball in that situation. So if you can't get pressure on the quarterback in third down, then you're going to put your defense at a disadvantage, because now you're going to have to force your secondary to play even better. So, I mean, I just think that it's really hard to get off the field on third down if you don't have really good pass rush. The majority of the time, the teams that have the best third down defenses in the NFL, they most likely have a pretty good pass rush, and the Carolina Panthers haven't really been able to find that so far this season. Now, Christian McCaffrey, he was taken off IR a couple of days ago, and he's pretty much a 50-50 shot to play in this game. Now, even if he does play in this game, the reports are coming out that Mike Davis is still going to get a pretty good amount of the workload. I don't think they're going to rush Christian McCaffrey back into this game, which I agree with that decision. Like, you just can't expect Christian McCaffrey to come back and just give him the full workload. Like, you have to ease guys back into the flow of the game. So, Christian McCaffrey, don't really know what his status is going into this game. As of right now, he's pretty much a toss-up to play in this game. It's 50-50. You could flip a coin. And the Atlanta Falcons, I mean, how's their secondary going to perform in this game? Because Carolina's passing attack has been really good this season with DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson. And for Atlanta, I question and I'm concerned if Atlanta is going to be able to stop the big plays in the passing game, because they played a pretty good game last week against Detroit, but when it mattered the most, they just couldn't get those big stops, and they couldn't stop Kenny Galladay. And Detroit was able to go down the field and win the game. So, I mean, for Atlanta secondary, how are they going to perform against Carolina's wide receiver position? Okay? And if you're a Falcons fan, I don't really think that you have a lot of confidence in your secondary. Although your defense in your secondary has improved ever since Raheem Morris took over as the interim head coach, the secondary still has been the Achilles heel of this defense. So if you're Carolina, this is a favorable matchup that you should be able to exploit going against the Atlanta Falcons secondary that's banged up and really isn't all that good. So the team that I'm taking to win this game, I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers to win this game. The Carolina Panthers are favored to win this game by 2.5 points. And the reason why I'm going to take Carolina to win this game is for the fact that I don't trust Atlanta's defense. Now, Carolina's defense, I don't trust their defense, neither because their defense isn't able to get off the field on third down, but I feel like Carolina can force maybe a turnover or two in this game, and I don't really believe that Atlanta's defense is going to be able to stop Carolina's passing attack. So, give me the Panthers to win this game. 27-20 is my final score prediction in this game. I'm taking the Panthers to get the victory on Thursday night.